The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Evening, everybody. We have a decent amount of folks on right now, so we'll get started here in about 2 minutes, guys. Hope everyone is having a stupendous Tuesday evening. Seeing some familiar names on here. I like it. You know who you are. Good to see you guys, man. It's been a while. Hope everybody is having a great night. Hey, it is 6:59. We'll get rolling here in about a minute, everybody. Let everybody. Perfect. Yeah, Pat. That's the way we're gonna roll with it, Pat. We're gonna get started here, guys, in about a minute. Let everybody else kind of trickle in. We'll get started right at 7 o'clock on the dot. We'll be out of here by 7:30 tonight. Man, we got a good group here tonight. Good to see everybody. Let's see here. Rocky, how you doing? I like. Hope everybody's having a good night. And man, oh man, I like seeing these people piling in, crowding in. Technology is amazing, isn't it? Just blows my mind. As we get rolling here, guys, 7 o'clock. We'll give a little bit longer here for a few more folks to start going, and then we'll roll. We will be done by 7:30 tonight. So 7:30. We're in Dallas. So if you're watching this somewhere else, I'd be interested to know where you're watching from. Do me a favor at the end of the webinar, write a comment and let me know where everybody is from tonight, because we got a good crowd. So I see some familiar names rolling in here. It's great seeing everybody tonight. Well, I can't see you, but you can see me. So that's what I mean. But my name is Ross Hawley, and I'm the president of Placed.com. We're an athletic recruiting service that helps student athletes get to the next level. And the reason why you're here tonight, whether you're looks like we've got some parents, some kids, a mixture of both. We've got some coaches, it looks like, on board. But the reason why you're here tonight is to watch a 30-minute webinar on becoming a college baseball recruit. So what we're going to talk about tonight is we're going to talk about the philosophy behind what every student athlete needs to be doing to become a college baseball recruit. And then we're going to walk you through kind of the technical, the application part of it. We're going to tell you about how to do it, but then we're going to show you, we're going to tell you how to do it. And then we're going to show you how to do it with the Placed software and the website. And again, my name is Ross Hawley, and I'm so happy and excited to be in front of you guys tonight because at the end of the day, man, this stuff is fun. College recruiting is, if you're a student athlete out there watching this tonight, this is going to be one of the craziest, most fun, emotional times of your life, because what you're going through is you're figuring out, where you're going to go play college baseball. So, as a former college baseball player, I can tell you this without a doubt. Being a college baseball player is one of the greatest experiences you'll ever have. So I'm excited that we get to share a little bit of knowledge with you guys tonight that are watching on how you become a college recruit, how you get yourself in front of the right schools, how you end up at the right school, so on and so forth. So again, I'm Ross. We have just a great staff of people that are making this work. So I'm just the ugly one that gets to be on camera. But I do want to know. I want to kind of tell you a little bit about Placed, and I want to start obviously at the top. Our owner, his name is Fred Basti. This man on your screen is one of the best men you'll ever meet. If you ever get the opportunity to meet him, has an absolute passion for young men and women getting to the next level. His son played baseball at Oklahoma State. His daughter had offers to go play college basketball. But the reason why we exist, the reason why Place has been around, and we've been around since 2014. started some stuff in 2013, but we've been around for a while now. And the reason why Fred started Placed is because of his experience with the college recruiting process for his kids. So that was 5-6 years ago, and he went through the process and really ended up coming to the conclusion that there had to be a better way to work this process for student athletes and for their families. What he found out was going through this process, man, Fred paid a lot of money to some very familiar companies that I'm sure some of you guys know about. But he paid a lot of money to help with the idea that his kids were going to get recruited because of the help of these companies. And he paid a lot of money. There was a lot of promises, a lot of broken promises, and he came to the conclusion and said, "There's got to be a better way to do this. What is missing in this process?" And really, what Fred came up with and what we conceptualized was, if we can give student athletes, if we can tell student athletes what level is right for them, what schools are right for them, and then how to work the process, man, you can turn any high school athlete into a recruit. And that's the truth. We'll always say this. If you're listening to this, man, hear this clearly. If you have the desire to play college baseball, I promise you have some sort of ability to match that desire. What you're missing is all the in-between and the information that you need. So that's where we come in. We're going to give you that information. We're going to show you how to work this process. We're going to show you how to work it with the website. So that's the story of our company. You can see the folks that we have in our Dallas offices, just so you guys know, we're baseball people. Yeah, we do this for every sport in the country, internationally. We offer every sport, but the concept of Placed, the genesis, you like that word, is because of baseball. We know what we're talking about. We know how to work this process. So excited to have you on board tonight. A little bit more about us. We are the official recruiting partner of USA Today High School Sports. You can see our stuff every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in USA Today High School Sports. Some of the stuff, type of content that we deliver, you can kind of see on the screen. We do a coach interview pretty much every week. Guys, put it this way: we've talked with the best. We've interviewed the best. We've mingled with the best. When we break college recruiting down, this is a process that takes place between college coach and then student athlete family, and that kid's high school coach, select coach. The third party distractions need to be limited, and I say the third party meaning if you're watching tonight hoping that Place is going to get you a college scholarship, you're wrong. We're going to help you. We're going to show you what you need to do. We're going to give you the answers. But at the end of the day, this process is about the relationships a student athlete makes, maintains, cultivates, builds with the college coach, and it's up to the coach and the student athlete to figure out if this is a good fit or not. So we do our coach interviews, specifically asking them questions on how the process works from their mindset. We do our recruit spotlights, where we'll give extra love to the student athletes, that are in our database, that are subscribing to our site. You can see on the screen we had a young man from McKinney North that, man, just had an awesome experience with it. But bottom line, official recruiting partner of USA Today High School Sports. Look for our content Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Partners, you're in the baseball community. I'm positive you know who this woman on the screen is. The greatest softball player of all time, Jenny Finch. She is a partner with us, and she does this with us. She's been approached by every company from here to there, and she works with us without us having to pay her or give her a huge lump sum of money. She's with us because she appreciates the way we go about the process and what we're telling, the information we're giving to our student athletes. So, I mean, it goes without saying, having Jenny Finch as a partner of ours is an absolute honor, because she's one of the best at everything. We'll do interviews with stars. We interviewed Mr. Bregman here, and you can kind of tell just by that quote. I always we talk about this quote. As it relates to the recruiting process, when you're talking to Alex about how college recruiting works, and give us some advice for young student athletes. And this quote stands out the most to me. It's not just about what you want. It's about how hard you're willing to work to get what you want. Man, if I was going to tell you, if you're a student athlete watching this, you're a baseball player, and I had this conversation last night. If I said, you got to get bigger, stronger, faster as an athlete, what would you do? You would get in the gym, you would do it, you would lift weights, you would run, you would tell whatever your trainer tells you to do, but you would get bigger, stronger, faster. The same idea applies to the recruiting process. If you want to be the biggest, baddest recruit you can be, it's not just about how good of a baseball player you are. It's not just about how good of a student you are. It's about how good are you at communicating with the schools that you have interest. How are you willing to take this process and be proactive with it? If you can be proactive with this process, you're going to have more success than you even dreamt of. So when we start breaking this down, the college recruiting process, it's not just about being a good baseball player. It's not just about having good grades. It's about knowing what you're doing, and that's what we're going to do tonight. And it's how far are you willing to go? I know as a former baseball player, if you would have said to me, what are you willing to do to become a college baseball player? Man, back in the day, I'd have said just about anything. And I think ultimately that's probably where you need to be if you want to play at the next level. We recently did a survey with our subscribers, and what we do with our, and I'll get into this kind of how the process works in our software. But we got into this. We did a poll with our subscribers, and 94% of them reported back to us that they said that at least one of the schools that we matched them with on our five-star match rating system, at least one of those schools were actively recruiting them. So when we break this down and we tell you what we do, kind of what our software is all about, and now that I think about that, I skipped a slide, but no worries about it. When you break it down, we're going to tell you what level is right for you. We're going to tell you what schools are right for you, and then we're going to tell you how to work the process. When we tell you, hey, this school's a five-star match with you, it's accurate. Believe what you're seeing on the screen, okay? We take the guesswork out of the college recruiting process. And then this number speaks for itself. Since 2014, we've had over 40,000 student athletes trust us with the college recruiting process. It's every day. It's every day. It never stops. 365 days a year. We are blessed. We are so blessed to have amazing families, amazing people that want amazing things for their sons and their daughters. Trust us, and we take that very seriously because, again, you get to go through this process one time in your life. Do it the right way. Whether you use us or not, listen to what we're saying from an application standpoint and apply it. One of our testimonials, one of our former athletes, very nice, testimonial that they gave to us. Put it this way: the young man, you can see Kelly and Tina, their comments for us, but they came to us. We end up, pointing him in the right direction. He worked the process, had a very successful senior season after some transfer issues. Anyway, he's playing pro ball now. And when we talk to, and this is with so many of our parents, when we talk to these parents, what would you tell other parents about the process? Hopefully, number one, they say great things about us. But when it comes to breaking the process down, so many families are so blown away by how much control they have over this process, and they're so thankful that we're able to help them with it, and really just give you guys the right information, give you the right answers. So let's get into this. A couple of things that I want to address quickly before we kind of start, breaking the software down and what we do as a company. I want you to look at the statistics on the screen right now. If you're watching this, let that kind of sink in, because understand how athletic scholarships work. Understand how baseball scholarships work. Baseball is an equivalency sport. That means you're not going to get a full athletic scholarship as a baseball player. I'm going to repeat that. You're not going to get a full 99.9% of you are not going to get a full athletic scholarship as a baseball player. It's just not going to happen. And why is that? Because if we're talking about the Division I level, there's 11.7 full athletic scholarships that a Division I school can have. That it's not necessarily saying that they do have them, but that they can have. And they split that roster. The average Division I roster is 35 guys deep. So they're taking that 11.7 full scholarships, and they're dividing it up among their roster. So in a great scenario, we get this question regularly from baseball players. What's a good scholarship offer? Any scholarship offer is a good scholarship offer. I don't care if it's 25%, if it's 75%. But typically speaking, you're going to be in that range, anywhere from 25 to 75. And you're really not going to find schools that give much over 75%. And if they do, that's kind of an exception to the rule. So if you're planning your college recruiting journey, this is something you've got to account for. I know when I was going through the process, my parents were like, oh, if you get a scholarship, I'll buy you a car. Well, I got a scholarship, and they're like, whoa, we still have money that we got to worry about. So needless to say, I got a used car, but you get the point. There is not that much money. The budgets aren't huge. They're getting better, but because baseball is getting bigger at the Division I level, but understand the numbers. So when should I start? You're watching this tonight and you're thinking, all right, Ross, let's roll, man. What do I need to do to get this thing going? When should I start? I'm gonna make this very simple. I don't care if you're a freshman watching this or if you're a junior watching this. I doubt we have any seniors, but class of 2019 is what I mean by that. But when should I start? Now. When should I start? Now. Understand the rules of recruiting, college baseball recruiting. College coaches can start. Division I college coaches can start communicating with you September 1 of your junior year. Division II coaches can start doing that June 15th after your sophomore year. So basically, between that June 15th date up till that September 1st date, like it's starting to happen. After that September 1st date, it is on. Like that is when it's all, you can start taking your official visits, start taking your unofficial visits. But you have to understand that when I tell you to start now, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to start communicating with college coaches right now. But you got to start doing research on schools. You got to start putting videos together. You got to start preparing yourself for that onslaught. Because I know this, when September 1 rolls around for college coaches, it is a feeding frenzy to go get the guys and fill their rosters. So when should I start? Now. Get organized. Follow the game plan that we're about to talk about. Understand that this is a process. We deal with so many kids that just don't understand, and it's not your fault, but they just don't understand that you're just not going to pick up the phone and talk to a coach and they're going to like you and then you're going to get a scholarship offer. Man, they're making an institutional investment in you. They're going to make sure that any money they give you is going to be money well spent. So you have to understand that this is a process. It's going to take time. These coaches are picky. They should be picky. They don't have that much money. But do know this: they're always evaluating. They're always recruiting. Some of the best advice I've ever received from any coach that I ever played for. His name is Benny Castillo. He's still coaching, man. One of the best dudes you'll ever meet. Some of the best advice he ever gave me was, Ross, as long as you're playing competitively, you have a chance to get to your next step. If you're watching this and you're a high school athlete, yes, get started now. But make sure you're continuing, you're working on your skills, you're getting better, you're playing at the highest level that you can play at, and you're doing everything you can, not what your coaches can do or what your parents can do, everything you can do to make sure you're getting in front of the right college coaches. When should I start? Now. Very simply. And keep in mind, guys, it's 7:18 right now. We're going to be done at 7:30. If there are questions, I'll save some 2 or 3 minutes at the end for some questions. So we're burning through this stuff. How do I start? I'm going to make it simple. This is what we tell every student athlete. I don't care what the the sport is. I don't care what the age is. This is how you have to understand college recruiting. It's the job search process. Number one, you got to have a resume. Number two, you have to identify where that resume would look good. Like what schools would actually want to look at this resume. And then number three, you got to get to the interview. You've got to make an introduction, and you've got to focus on creating relationships and introducing yourself. Don't worry about, oh, what's the scholarship offer going to be after the first conversation. Man, that's the elephant in the room. Every coach in the country knows that you want to know what scholarship dollars are going to be. They know that you want a scholarship offer. The kids that can focus on what is right for me, where am I going to be happy? What schools make sense for me? Am I going to be happy with this social environment? Am I going to be happy with that size of a school? Whatever it is, focus on the relationship. Focus on getting to the interview and quit worrying about scholarships right now. Quit worrying about scholarship dollars, all that stuff. Put your resume together. Identify schools that make sense for you, that you want to play for, that you think you could play for, and then focus on getting a relationship started. Get to the interview. If I was looking for a job, what's the number one goal of looking for a job other than landing it? It's get to an interview. I have to get to an interview so I can give myself a chance to land that job. That's what you should be focused on as a student athlete. So remember this, because we're going to start getting into the software right now. Number one, you got to have a resume. Number two, you have to identify schools that make sense. You can't be wasting your time on schools that don't make sense for you. And then number three, focus on the interview, focus on creating the relationships. So that's how our software works. In the slide I missed earlier, I'll cover that right now. So it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Resume, identify targets, make introductions. How does that work with our website? Well, number one, we have what's called our resume builder. Well, and let me start with this slide first. This is our player dashboard. Whenever you log in, you create an account with us, you'll be delivered to this page. It's kind of the analytics page, just like Huddle or YouTube. It'll kind of tell you, it will tell you what, how many resume views you have, how many video clicks you're getting, what coaches are following you, so on and so forth. So it's your home base, it's your dashboard. Okay, back to getting things started with the software. So number one, we talk about you got to have a resume. Okay, so inside that resume, what does a resume look like? And you're going to see on your screen a sample resume of a fake player that we've created here. What does the resume include? You look at this top information of our resume section, and I'll show you this one too. We'll show you what the bottom section looks like. But the top part of a resume is extremely important. The top part of a player resume, it's the most important, because understand this information right here, your height, your weight, your position, and really the position and the graduation date, and then a link to your video. That's going to be the most important information, and it's what college coaches are going to initially evaluate you on. You can't take this stuff personally, because sometimes you may like a school, but if a school's not recruiting 2020's a 2020 catcher, there's nothing you can do about that. Okay, so understand this information at the top part of your resume. It's crucial, because most of the initial evaluation is saying, what do I need in the class? The college coaches are thinking, what do I need in the class of 2020? What position does this kid play? And let me see him play. All this information, right? They'll check out your social media, so on and so forth. So with the resume builder, you're going to go through each section. We're going to have the personal section at the top. You'll be able to add all this information. All you do is click on the pencil or click in the field and start editing it. You'll have a pop-up. You'll start editing the information. Once you get your personal information in there, then you go to your sport-specific, position-specific details. So this our guy here, fake guy here, is a catcher. So with him, his athletic section looks differently than all the other players. You start adding your pop time, you all the information that you see right here. Fill out your resume. You'll fill out your academics. You'll fill out your coach info. Your coach info serves as the references for your high school select coaches. You fill out that information, and then understand what we do is we take that information and we create a public URL that you can easily share with college coaches. Okay, so number one, you've got your resume. Number two, where we make our money, I say that figuratively speaking, but what we're really good at is we're really good at taking the contents of your resume, right? This information here, we're really good at taking that information. We'll take that information and we'll instantly run it up in our what's called our placed search matching engine. And we are going to be able to tell you, you're able to set filters and pick your preferences, but we're able to tell you based on the information that's in your resume how well you match on a 0 to 5-star match rating scale with any school in the country, 2-year and 4-year schools. Okay, so you can see what filters you have right here. You could go, hey, I want to see what my 5-star matches. I want to see what my 5-star matches are in the southwest part of the country. I want to see what my college, whatever the preferences you select. We are going to, number two, we're identifying schools that make sense for you. So number one, you got your resume built. You've got a shareable URL. Number two, we're identifying schools that make sense for you, right? We're going to tell you, like I said, on that 0 to 5-star match rating system, with every search you run, you're gonna start creating a target list of schools with every search you run. So you enter your information into the resume builder, then you see what your matching schools are. With every search you run, you can favorite schools that you have interest in. Okay, so number one, we've got the resume built. Number two, we've got a target list of schools built. And I would recommend this. I would say this: as you start going through and running searches, start with a list of 30. Go with 10 schools that are your dream schools. Don't ever give up on your dream schools. I genuinely mean that. You never know. It's not a no until it's a no. Just put it that way. 10 dream schools, 10 realistic schools, 10 fallback schools. If I'm a junior watching this tonight, even a sophomore, I'm going to sit in my 4 and 5-star matches and I'm going to create a list of 10, 10, 10. 10 dream schools, 10 realistic schools, 10 fallback schools. And I'm going to stay in that 4 and 5-star match rating system. All right. So once you build your matching schools, then it's just a matter of connecting with college coaches. So then you go to your connect and share tab, and we're going to show you how all this works. So from a process perspective, there are a multitude of ways of connecting with college coaches, and we're going to provide you with every single way. Okay. You can send an email. You can make a phone call. You can send a Twitter DM. You can write a handwritten letter. Yeah, that's crazy. It works. Or you could just, click and share your resume. So you select which mode you want to communicate by. We're going to personalize that template for you. And you can see kind of the examples. We got pre-populated email templates. We have 5 different versions of email templates. You can see the voicemail, phone call voicemail script, but it's all going to be personalized to you. You're going to have the means of communication however you want to communicate with college coaches. And how we recommend doing it is send an email, see where that gets you. If they're not answering the emails, connect on social media, see where that gets you. If they're not connecting, make a phone call. You have every single way possible. And in a perfect world, if I sat down and said, a kid right now had a gun to my head and said, Ross, I need results, what would you do? What do I do? Here's what I say. Send an email tonight, follow up with a phone call tomorrow, whether it's a voicemail or a phone call, saying, hey, I sent my resume. Here's my video. Did you get a chance to look at it? I follow up with a phone call the next day, and then I send a letter the next day. I am doing everything I can to get that coach's attention. Understand that. The goal is to get to the interview. If you, whatever means necessary, trying to get a college coach's attention respectfully. If you got to send an email, you got to make a phone call, you got to send a Twitter DM, whatever it is, make it happen, and we'll give you all that information. We'll give you obviously you see your list of schools that you created. All you would do is you'd go in and say, all right, I'm sending an email. I click on the link to the coach info. We'll show you the most current information of that coach's information. This is Northern Colorado for the example. You see who the head coach is. All you would do is you'd copy paste email addresses in there. You have phone numbers. You can see how it all works. And then when you're done with your communication, fill out your recruit tracker and keep progress of how you're communicating and what's going on with each and every school. So I'm going to summarize this, and then I'm going to get into the final, and I'm going to answer any questions that you guys might have. Number one, you got to have a resume. We got our resume builder. Number two, Identify schools and build a list of target schools. You do that with our matching engine. Number 3, you have to get to the interview. You've got to communicate with college coaches. We're going to give you every means possible of communication. That is how college recruiting works. If you're listening to this tonight and you're like, I don't know if I'm a college recruit. If you don't know if you're a college recruit, I'm going to say this very respectfully. You're not a college recruit. If you don't know, you're not, because you'll know when you are. You'll know when coaches are interested in you. The best way to know whether or not you're a college recruit is this: personal interaction with a college coach. I don't care how many coaches are following you or how many views you get. Yeah, that stuff makes you feel good and it's nice and there is some validity to it. But at the end of the day, personal contact, personal interaction with college coaches, that's how college recruiting works. I wonder if I'm being recruited. If you have to wonder, you're not. Okay? Simple as that. Always assume that college coaches don't know who you are. That way you take the right steps to become a college recruit by what we just discussed. All right. I'm going to open it up for questions. And as I do that, I'm going to go through our subscription benefits. I'll leave those on the screen. The difference between being a subscriber and a free member for us. We have tons of, great plans. I'll show those on the screen. But if there are any questions, I am open, because I know we have a good sized crowd tonight, and I wanted to be a man of my word and be done by 7:30, the time I told you. So what I would encourage you to do is use our software, run this process on your own, watch what happens. You'll be blown away with the results. Enter in that baseball recruit for a 25% discount. If an affiliate has referred you to this tonight, use your affiliate's code. Your 25% discount. But if this is the first time you've heard about us, use that code for a 25% discount. All right. And then I'll also say this. Make sure you give us a follow on Facebook, guys. We have a great following, and we're so thankful for that. We do our best to put up content, make sure kids are getting exposure, make sure we're giving you rules, guidelines, tips, all that good stuff on our social media. So make sure you give us a follow on social media. There we go. And make sure that you're following us on social media. Okay, so I've got some questions that I want. All right, so question here. Are you saying that if you're a 2020 rising senior, this is too late? Absolutely not. If you're a rising senior, you're a 2020, you're on time, but man, you got to go. You got to make hay now, because remember this: September 1 of your junior year is is when college coaches can start communicating with you, in earnest. They can do whatever they want. July 1 after your junior year is the first time they can make campus visits. They can make house visits, and they can go make physical contact with you. So you're not too late if you're a rising senior, but here's what you need to do as soon as possible, and make sure you do this before school starts. Create your resume, identify your target list of schools, and start talking to college coaches, because ultimately what you want to do is you want to line up your schedule for the fall and say, what schools am I going to go visit for camps? Because if they haven't seen you play at this point, they've got to get their eyeballs on you. And most of the time, as seniors, rising seniors, what it means to get eyeballs on you at this point in the game means you're going to have to make a visit, unofficial visit, official visit, whatever it is, to that campus so they can get their eyeballs on you and physically evaluate your son. Let me know if that answers your question. But I say this, and I'm an optimist. I mean, I just am. I've got energy. I love life. I genuinely believe that if you want to do what you want to do, you can achieve it. You just got to work for it. Just like, Bregman said, you got to work for it. I don't believe that it's ever too late, as long as you're willing to put the work in. And as a 2020, you still have plenty of time. Now, does that mean Texas is going to be an option for you? Maybe not, probably not, but that doesn't matter. Like, if the goal is to play college baseball, the goal is to play college baseball. And that's something I tell kids all the time is when you get older, it's not on your resume, whether it's not like, hey, I played, Division I. You're a college baseball player. You play college baseball. That's what goes on your resume. And yeah, details come out after long conversations, but hey, I played college baseball. Okay, the end. So remember this. You can have, that's what's beautiful about baseball. You can, there are so many different levels. There are so many different paths to the big leagues. There's so many different paths for success and happiness. Division one isn't for everyone. Division two isn't for everyone. Division three, division NAIA, junior. There is something for everyone, and there is a good brand of baseball that exists at every single one of those levels. And if you don't think that I'm telling the truth, you're wrong, because I am, and I know this. Look at the guys that have gotten to the big leagues. Every round in the MLB draft is represented. Every route, I don't care. Junior college to 2 years, junior college to 4 year school, NAIA program, transferred. There are so many different routes to achieve success in baseball, and that's what makes it beautiful. So just get going, start now, and let us help. So that said, I'm going to show you guys again. Those are the subscriptions. Use that promo code if you want a 25% discount. If you don't have an affiliate promo code, but if you do, use that affiliate promo code. Get in there and make this thing happen for yourself. And you should have a goal. If you're watching this tonight, you're a baseball player watching this tonight. Be known by the end of the summer. Take it upon yourself. If you're sitting here thinking, I don't know if I'm a recruit, man, assume that you're not. Be known by the time you step foot on campus here in the next, 3-4 weeks. Ugh, school starting already. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm gonna leave you alone now. It is 7:35. I went 5 minutes over, but I had fun. I hope you guys had fun too. So follow us on social media. If you need to reach out to us, you can DM us there. Send us an email. You can obviously find us. We have 100 million ways to communicate with us online on the site. We're here to help, genuinely. I wish every single one of you baseball players the best career you can ever have. And I mean that, because baseball is the greatest game ever. And there's nothing like being a college baseball player. If you're watching this, do whatever you can to get to that level, because it'll change your life. So you guys have a great night. Appreciate you watching. We'll send out an email with a recording of this webinar. But if you need anything, reach out to us and let us help. Have a great night.